In our last video, we hit the road for a long weekend away to explore Joshua Tree National Park. This week, we hit Lake Mead for a solo camp trip to check out Boulder Beach campground for the first time, soak in lakefront views, and test out a new portable, gas-powered grill. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode. Today we're doing some truck camping out in Lake Mead. This is one of the few campgrounds I have not personally stayed at yet, so I figured, might as well. This is actually going to be our first time camping in Lake Mead for the winter season. So Lake Mead is starting to become accessible, inhabitable again. It is still a little bit hot. It's about 91 degrees or so, but nonetheless, it should be pretty cool when we get out there, especially when the sun sets. So we're going to a campground in Lake Mead called Boulder Beach Campground. We've driven by there before, but we have never stayed there. So I'm stoked to see how it is out there. This particular spot I think is pretty popular because it's a pretty large spot and it has lakefront views of the water. We're making our way out there now. Let's get going. It's been a while since I've seen Lake Mead, but the water levels are definitely a lot higher now, or at least right now. All right, guys, so we are in Loop D at spot 77. Look at this view. Here we are. Wow, this is an awesome spot, guys. This view is definitely why this spot is always booked. Probably one of the best camp spots in this campground because look how big this spot is too. Got this whole thing. You got no next door neighbors really over here. You got one neighbor over here, but otherwise no one. Really, there's no one around. I mean, this is freaking cool. Well, we are running out of daylight, so let's get camp set up as quick as we can. Since it's pretty hot, might as well get the shitco awning up. Man, guys, the day is getting so short. Sun's setting these days at about 6 o'clock, and then we're gonna have daylight savings here soon, so it's gonna get dark at like 4. This is honestly the best time of the year for Vegas, though. The desert's amazing in the winter. That's why we came out here, guys, or at least one of the big reasons why we ended up moving out here is to camp and be outside pretty much 365. There's always some place to go, summer or winter. For the summertime, we'll go north. For the wintertime, we'll go south. A new piece of gear that I'm testing out today, guys, is a portable, packable propane grill. So if you guys have seen my kebab video a couple months ago when we were camping out with Jags, I only have like one propane grill and it's pretty big. You know, it's kind of awkward to pack around and carry with us camping, so you don't see it very often. This grill is literally this tiny, but let's set it up. It takes a little bit of finessing, takes a little bit of getting used to, but it's pretty awesome. Got everything stored in my rucks bag, all of our miscellaneous pieces of gear in here. So this is our brand new grill that we're trying out. It's called the Scotty Just Grill Anywhere. It's essentially a portable, packable, flat grill, propane grill. Sorry, not propane, it's using whatever the canisters that like jet boils use. It's essentially using that type of fuel, not necessarily the green propane bottles, but you can buy an adapter for them. Before we run out of sunlight, let's get this thing set up. I've only ever set this up like one other time, so I apologize if I'm a little slow. It actually didn't take too long this time. My first time I set this up, it did take a second, but now that you kind of know which order to set it up, you set up one side, you get the grill grate in there, you put the little propane thing in there, the other side, and then the grate. And then now you can put on the little regulator. And there you go. Fuel. Use isobutane. Isobutane is what this stuff's called. Let's try and light this, because I've honestly never lit this grill before. Super easy to light. There's a little hole right here that you can light it with, and I just turned the little switch on right there and lit it up, and it lit pretty dang fast. So I'm gonna try and turn this down just a little bit, because actually I'm gonna move this somewhere else so that we're not cooking on my tailgate. I think I told you guys that there was an issue with our Ignik fire pit. There was something with like the hose where sometimes propane just isn't going through. So I reached out to Ignik and they're sending me a new hose. So I believe it's this piece that's broken. Sometimes whenever you turn it on, you open the propane tank, turn this on, sometimes it just, nothing comes over here to light. You can't even hear the propane moving in here. So I think it has something to do with this connection in here. There's something in here that's not working right. So, but they're sending me a new one, luckily. So thanks to Ignik, always coming in hot. Super helpful customer support as well. So shout out to them. Also, I did fix the seam in the tent as well, if you guys didn't catch my last video. But we did, you see that little button right there? So that little button is the fix for the seam, essentially. GFC sent me like glue and everything to fix it. So that's been working really well. The seam's been holding up. I can open and close the window with no issue. It's been good. Waiting for this to cool down. While we are waiting, let's go and grab a beer. Tonight for dinner, guys, we are making some banh mi sandwiches. I'm actually gonna be grilling the pork. I got some pork marinating. I'll show you guys some footage of the marination, the process that I did for the pork. All right, guys, so I am back at home. I'm actually gonna be making the banh mi marinade right now, and I'm gonna cut up the pork so we can start marinating it before we head out on our camp trip. Just to show you guys what we are using for the marinade: fish sauce, some sugar, some honey, some garlic, fresh ground peppers, and we also have some green onions, scallions, whatever you want to call them in here as well. And I also added a couple of these Thai peppers, just because why not? I ended up buying a bunch of these, so figured I'd just add some to the marinade, give it some kick. And then what we're gonna do now is slice the pork loin fillet into smaller pieces so that we can then thread them onto a kebab stick. And I did have the kebab sticks sitting out in some water, so these should be good to grill. They shouldn't burn since they've been sitting in water. It'll help them not burn on the grill. I know banh mi's are usually thin, longer slices like this, but because of the way this pork loin is, I just feel like some of these smaller strips may be better because it's against the grain. Hopefully these smaller pieces turn out better than these bigger ones, but we'll find out. So what we're gonna do now is throw this into a bowl and we're gonna go puree the sauce mixture and then marinate it for pretty much until we go camping. That smells really good. Let it sit for at least 4 hours, and then we'll get them threaded on the skewers. I am super excited. I love banh mi sandwiches. That's what we're gonna be testing out on our brand new grill today. We're gonna be grilling up some of that pork on this. So that's what all these ingredients are. But to start the night, we're gonna try a new beer, local, Las Vegas, Big Dog's Las Vegas craft lager. A couple of you guys have been asking me if I have an electric fridge. The answer is I do. I just don't take it out for quick little trips like this. Comment down below, have you guys been to Big Dog's Las Vegas? We've been to this brewery, I think it's like Summerlin somewhere. We've been to this brewery like a really, really long time ago. It's probably when we first moved here about 3 years ago. That was the first time we'd ever been here. Really cool bar though, from what I remember. There was a lot of us though, so we were sitting outside, but figured I'd try a local beer for once since we are in town. Come on. I swear, cans are just getting larger because koozies are not fitting on nothing these days. And the reason why I ended up buying this beer is because of the logo. The logo definitely got me. Some of you guys were commenting why I tap on top of the can. When I was a kid, someone told me, one of my childhood friends told me that when you tap the can, it won't like fizz out essentially. But let me put this in the koozie first before I open it, because it just makes it a little bit harder to get a koozie on after you've opened a beer. Oh, I didn't realize this camp spot was right next to the road. I think this is the road actually down to Hemingway Harbor. There's 2 routes to get to it from the main road up there, but this is kind of like if you go through the campground route, this is where it'll take you. Cheers, y'all. That is a really good lager. It doesn't linger, very crisp taste, standard lager, but it's pleasant. It's really nice. I like it. What I've noticed about this campground is there are a lot of like truck campers. There's a couple like truck bed tents, a couple Jeeps with some ground tents, and those like rental vans that you can get. There's a ton of those around here. I imagine there's a lot of people like visiting town, you know. This is a very, very convenient location if you're trying to go like hang out in Vegas or even Boulder City. Tomorrow we're actually going to go into Boulder City, probably go get some breakfast over there. I don't know if you guys have ever been to the pasty place, but super good. And also we'll probably stop by the Ram Park and see if we can find any rams roaming around. We just love Boulder City. We love the small town vibe out there, and there's awesome live music, great bars, restaurants out there for the weekend as well. So if you guys are interested in hanging out in Boulder City, I'll mark out a couple of our go-to spots to hang out there. So this Scotty grill, in comparison to the Ignik, they're pretty similar sized, I would say. This one definitely folds down way smaller than this guy, but still not too bad. Also, the isopropane or isobutane, or yeah, isobutane. Is this better than the green tanks in terms of like fuel consumption or like how hot it can get? I'm not sure, but I'm stoked to try it out, that's for sure. Gotta love the sound of generators. So before it gets too dark, I just want to show you guys around our campsite. So you got the main road over here. Well, check this out. There's literally no one over here. There's some brush right here, so not like a direct person next to you. And then look how much space you have. All of this space. And then you got those lakefront views over here, which is, can't beat it. I can't believe it. Whenever I look for camp spots at a campground, I always look at the map to see what is available, what spots don't have a spot right next to it. And so this one came up, and I looked at the map and I was like, holy crap, this is a giant spot. Also check Google satellite maps, and you can see kind of like the terrain look of this, so you can kind of see how big camp spots are before you book something. This is a huge spot I saw online, so I was like, I'll book it. And I was looking at the reservations for this spot. Literally, this is the only night that it's available for the next month. Kicker with this spot though is there is no electric, no dumping. It is a dry spot. The only thing it comes with is table with a fire pit, which I definitely should have utilized this tonight. These days, the only way you can have a fire really is at campgrounds, unfortunately. Or if you're dispersed camping in Lake Mead and you're within 20 feet of water, I believe is what the regulations say, or park rules, but double check that before you guys start having fires out in Lake Mead, especially if you're dispersed. Usually you can have campfires like within the campgrounds itself, because there is a self-contained ring out here. I always go with old trusty. You just always know this is allowed anywhere you go. Before we start running out of daylight, let's start getting dinner ready. We're gonna be making some banh mi sandwiches, which I've never made. It's like a pork sandwich with cilantro, carrots, cucumbers on a French roll. We skewered the pork earlier, so let me get those out and let's get our ingredients all set up. So, got some cilantro, green onions, cut some carrots up, cucumbers. We got tiny little cucumbers here, and then we got the pork. That is all we need for right now. Should probably really wash these, but oh well. Just cutting the carrots into like really thin strips. Cut the cilantro up. That's probably enough. I'm only making one sandwich, guys, so I don't need too many veggies. Might cut some of this up just so I can snack on it though. Should have bought some hummus. We got the pork over here skewered and ready to go on the grill. Got our veggies chopped. We couldn't find like a brioche roll, so we got the next best thing, which is the French rolls. So I'm sure those will be fine. And with the sandwich, we're actually going to add, we're gonna do some Kewpie mayo, sriracha, and some hoisin sauce, which I don't know if this is traditional banh mi's, but whatever. And I also have a little bit of this Japanese barbecue sauce because this is amazing, y'all. This is like literally the best, my favorite barbecue sauce, easily. And it's leaking a little bit. Let's go clean that up. So before we start grilling, the Scotty says that you need to let it burn for about 10 minutes before you start grilling on it, just to burn off any of the, you know, them manufacturing the grill itself. So let's go start burning some of that off. Man, you can almost use this thing as a fire. We're gonna let that burn for about 10 minutes. We are ready to grill. Grill grate looks really consistent with the flame. This is awesome. Oh, it smells so good, guys. Since these are cut so thin, they really don't need a lot of grill time. I probably put them on for 5 minutes and then turned them on either side. These are looking good. Get these off, let them rest for a couple minutes. Oh my gosh, this looks amazing. I am in amazement. That is so good. We're gonna toast the bun because I believe in toasty buns, y'all. Let's put some of this stuff away. Got some of the blowout water because I don't know, I just need something like with carbonation. Put some tin foil on this. This sandwich is going to be amazing. I have no words. I'll throw some QP mayo on here and get a little toasty. Scoot this guy over just a tad. Right on top. Our bun all toasty up in here. And then we'll start assembling. We are ready to assemble this amazingness. Online, there are a couple different ways that you can do this. First thing they said to do was throw some sriracha on there, hoisin. So I'm gonna do just a light little drizzle like that. Oh, let's do it to both sides here. Might as well. Slap those together. Do some hoisin. A little bit of hoisin on here. And what we're gonna do is, they say to grab 2 of the kebabs, sandwich them like this, and then what you do is you close the lid, and then you take the skewer out like that. There we go. Now you're ready to add the rest of your ingredients. I'm gonna throw some green onions on there, thinly sliced cucumbers. I'm gonna load this thing up because I love sandwiches, guys. That's probably like my favorite food group. Throw some of that in there. I really wish I had like pickled onions or something because I feel like that'd be really good. And then we're gonna top it off with a bunch of cilantro because I love cilantro, y'all. And bam, that is it. I'm gonna give it just a little bit of this barbecue sauce. This looks amazing. I'm not even sure if I'm gonna be able to close that, but oh yeah. Alright guys, let's give this a shot here. He was trying to kill me. smoking me out. I had a really good banh mi at the Las Vegas Food Festival. I literally can't remember what this place was called, but their banh mi's were like, they were like this big. They were so big. But I love this because of the bread. I feel like the bread, most of the banh mi's I've had, the bread is really hard and it like cuts the roof of my mouth. And so by doing the French bread or a brioche bun, I think y'all almost fell there. So by doing the brie or the French bread, it's just like so much nicer on your mouth. And I think the cut of pork I have too is really good, because sometimes when you bite into banh mi's, like there's like really, I don't even know, like stringy, I guess, fatty pork where it's like kind of like crunchy if you bite into it. So it's just not pleasant to eat in a sandwich. You kind of get like that freshness from a banh mi, and I think that's what I like about it so much is like there's a freshness there. And so I think I'm missing some like jalapenos and maybe like a little bit of lime or just something to give it a little bit more acidity. But overall, this is a really good banh mi. Banh mi, I'll leave kind of what I ended up doing down below. Why it tastes just a little bit different, I think it's the hoisin. Hoisin's a little bit sweet. This recipe calls for it, but I'm not sure if that's like a normal banh mi or a traditional banh mi, but overall, it's really good. I know Carly was really jealous when I told her I was going camping at this awesome spot. There's already been like a couple people who've walked by and they were like, that is an amazing view. And I was like, thanks. I found the one availability in the next month. So unfortunately, you guys are gonna have to wait in line like me for when the next time you can get this spot. Because I looked, I think through October and November, this spot's booked. A good sandwich always comes with some type of chips. So these are some new chips that I found this week. Veggie poppables. I love the crunch of that. For you Vegas folk, if you really like banh mi's and you got a favorite one in town, let me know, because I'll go try it out. All right, y'all, well, it's time for a little bit of dessert. So if you guys watched my last video where we went to Joshua Tree National Park, or we hung out in the area of Joshua Tree, we were only at the national park for like a day, but while I was at the gift store, I ended up buying some of these cactus candy. I've never had cactus candy. I don't know if that's if all of the desert dwellers have had this, but I'm curious. So we're gonna try this out. Feels gummy. All right, here's what it looks like. Essentially just like a little gummy. Oh, it looks pretty good. It's not bad. It's pretty good. Cactus candy. It's like a more savory gummy. It's like a gummy bear, but big, and you gotta bite through it. It's pretty good though. I thought you would think this would have like a certain flavor. I guess maybe this is that fruit within the cactus, which I've honestly never had, so maybe I should try that, because maybe it's this. Oh, that's where I saw it. So on Yes Theory, I don't know if you guys watch Yes Theory, but they went to like 3 of the loneliest people in the world and spent time with them. And the old lady on the island, she was growing cacti or cactus, and she had the fruit on the cactus, and she, you know, grabbed the fruit, opened it up, scraped it out, and they were eating it. And it was kind of like this color, a little bit lighter than this, but maybe that's what this tastes like. Kind of tastes like a strawberry type of thing. It's really good though. I like it. Wow. I'll have to keep this in mind next time. I'm surprised. I feel like, you know, in Alaska they got like moose nuggets or like those scorpion candies. Like I thought this was just kind of like a spoof thing, but this is actually really good. So I would I would literally eat this again. I should have bought more now that we know. You guys already know I love the snacks and I love trying new stuff, so. Goldfish pumpkin spice graham crackers. Pumpkin spice grams is what it says. I gotta satisfy my inner white girl this pumpkin spice season. That's pretty good. This would be really good with a marshmallow, honestly. It's got like that cinnamon graham cracker flavor. I actually have marshmallows in the truck, so I honestly might skewer a marshmallow. Here we are. Oh no. The marshmallows have appeared to be melted a little bit. Trying to wrestle one out right now. Oh, jeez. These literally are like stuck together. So, note to self, don't keep your food tote in the garage. Let's get our marshmallow ball on. I don't know, y'all. This marshmallow may not cook properly. I'm sure it'll still be good though. Okay. Here we are. These marshmallows are no good anymore. This is definitely a fork s'more. This is ridiculous. Yeah, that marshmallow is no good, but I'm definitely onto something. I mean, the marshmallow is not normal. It seems like it's, I don't know, like spoiled or something, but not spoiled, but just the texture's gone. I still really like the goldfish though. Marshmallow and goldfish. Yep. Carly bought a new lantern and I decided to take it with me to try it. Oh my gosh. Well, here we are in the truck. I'm trying to decide which way I'm gonna sleep. I think I'm just gonna leave everything as is. Maybe I'll hang out on this side of the bed, open this up. Fan here. Plug it over up top. since we have this big window open, we don't have any neighbors. We'll get some air flowing tonight, especially since we have the Shitco awning open, since it's going to be a little bit cold. Or sorry, it's going to be a little bit warm tonight, guys. It's only dropping down to probably like 60. And so I really don't need much. Having this big window open though is going to be, it'll keep a good breeze in here, hopefully. Keep it cool at least. And then with the fan, we should be good. One of the big reasons why I like the front runner chair. Look how small this thing is. So I can easily move it around the truck bed without it running into anything. It's just easy to move around the GFC, so highly recommend the front runner chairs, guys. This is just super convenient, go anywhere kind of chair, especially in a 5-foot tiny Go Fast Camper truck bed. That chair works extremely well to like just maneuver around in here. Guys, so this is how we're testing out sleeping tonight. I'm gonna leave both of these big panels out, and hopefully I can just fit over here. We'll see though. It's a huge chunk of space, so I might be like sideways. I just don't want to go into bunk mode and then, you know, have to move everything again. So let's try this out. I'm just gonna keep these guys down here, and we're gonna try sleeping up here. It does make it very convenient to change in here if I needed to, but we're good. I'm not sure about this. I'm like right at this corner right here. Luckily I'm not the tallest person, but we're gonna try it. We'll see. Maybe if I just put one of the panels right there, it might be better. All right, I'm grabbing another panel. We're just gonna put it right here. So there's actually a reason why I brought the top of the light inside. I forgot my battery pack to charge my phone, so the back of the Ready Light actually has a USB charger that I can connect my phone to. Nice. Sun's coming out. that's cool. Some of the spots even have these little cabanas. Huge. These spots are giant. This campground's really cool though, it's huge. So I don't know if I told you guys how many spots are out here. If you guys have watched my Lake Mead video where I go to all of the campgrounds in Lake Mead, I do give a quick intro about every single campground. This campground has over like 90, like 100 spots or something. The campground is gigantic. So I'm sure if you were looking to reserve something, maybe not D77, but I'm sure you could find something out here if you looked early enough, you know. If you guys are interested in looking at that Lake Mead video, I'll leave a link to it down below. Sun is coming up. We're gonna get the Scotty all packed up back into its case here, which is nothing. One of the issues I've always had with like grills like this is like I'm not sure how to best clean like the top before you put it away, because I don't want everything to get all greasy, you know. Plug the hose here. I'm just gonna try and like wipe it down real quick just to get some of the bits off there. There's like little pockets inside this cover here that you can thread stuff through. Push this up. Grab this guy, throw him to the side. Grab these two. Give them a little brush. Side, and we can just dump that out. And since the drip tray is going to have the most grease on it, most likely, the grill opposite direction on this side, and place it in like this. That. So you get everything placed in there, and then I just grab the corners, get those velcroed on, and then I'll velcro up the sides here. The bag is waterproof and it seems pretty sturdy, so I think it'll work really well. Look at that. Awesome. Super cool grill. I'm stoked to continue using this, just to have like a grill on deck instead of like carrying around a really big grill. This is gonna be sweet. Scotty also sent me the cap for the grill as well. I'll try and use that next time. I wanted to just kind of use the base model of the Scotty first, but that's what this one is. So you can have a cap on the grill in case you're grilling up like, I don't know, chickens or something a little thicker. I knew since I was using, you know, thin strips of pork that it really wouldn't be an issue, like heat issues, but having the cap on top to close the lid, get it warmed up in there, will definitely be a huge help. And so the whole system, look at this thing. It's tiny. And I believe it weighs about, I want to say like 10 pounds probably. Since it is like completely steel, it's definitely a well-made product, that's for sure. And what's awesome is that it fits perfectly into our rucks here. Really loving the rucks for the catch-all. So just to show you guys how this seam is holding up. So the zipper has been going up and down. They gave me some glue for the main piece, and then they gave me a little button at the top to essentially cinch the zipper together, or the seam together from the outside. And that's the other button that you see on the other side. So it pinches the seam together so it shouldn't come down again. They gave me a couple of these little button pins or whatever you call them, so just in case multiple seams begin to break, like this one up here or any of these other ones. Well, actually I think they're really just meant for these windows over here, since these ones are actually threaded into the tent material. But I have the ability to replace that one, and that one if they fail. That one I may actually have to, because look at that, it's kind of coming off right now, so I might end up having to do that eventually with that guy over there. But overall, the fix seems to be working, which is good. Man, guys, it is getting hot. I was hoping to drive up to the waters just so we can go see it. The gate to the water is closed, unfortunately. So let's go check it out real quick. Me and Carly were actually out here when we first moved, checking out this beach area. And yeah, the water has definitely receded. Yeah, because you could usually hang out, you could just like tailgate. There would be a ton of people out here backing up to the water right here, tailgating, swimming. But as you can see, this area is no longer accessible. These plants are thriving though, because they got this water. It's not bad though. This is be a nice area to launch your kayak, that's for sure. A lot more birds out here. I was trying to see if there's anyone camping, or not camping, but fishing. Actually, it looks like you do have beach access over there, closer to the Hemingway Harbor Pier, the little fishing pier they got down there. But over here, there is no direct access, unfortunately. It's nice though, it's peaceful. Unfortunately, no bighorn sheep today. They're usually like frolicking in the grass over there, hanging out. I'm not seeing anyone. I've been out to this park a couple times and I've only been lucky once. We've only seen them once out here. They must be out doing their morning thing. They're known for their shakes and malts. I should have grabbed one, but it's kind of too early for that. But maybe next time when it's super hot out. I did get some coffee and I got a breakfast burrito. Look at there. Secured the goods. I'm gonna scarf this down real quick before we jump back on the road. Oh my gosh. I got this like berry Danish thing. Let's try this real quick. She toasted it, so... Oh, what is this? Wow. It's probably one of the better Danishes I've had. Got a breakfast burrito up in here. Oh, that's looking good. I love it when breakfast burritos come with some salsa. Yes. Oh, that is hot. Fresh. Toasted. Great job, Jiffy Chills. Oh. Bacon breakfast burrito. Should put some tater tots in there. The bacon is like perfectly crispy. Wow, this is a good breakfast burrito, y'all. If you guys haven't been to Chili Jilly's, definitely check them out in Boulder City. This is the first time I've ever eaten out here, so this is really good. I'll definitely be back, and I'm glad they're open for breakfast. I think they're mainly known for like their chicken or their, yeah, I think it's their chicken. Their breakfast is really good. All right, guys. Well, that's the conclusion of the video. I need to get an oil change. I gotta run some errands. So, thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Thanks.